Hey, I'm Lazna, and today I'm gonna talk about financial literacy from my financial literacy learning from week 1 to week 4. So, before starting this unit, I honestly never thought about deeply about money management. I mean, I've always made money from my part-time job. I never really paid attention to where the money was going. In the first week, I learned about what financial literacy actually means, and it changed my way of thinking. But I see now that it's about understanding income and tracking the expenses. This made me realize that I have always pretty much just spent whatever like I had without putting any thought into a plan, especially on the things like food delivery, online shopping. Honestly, I'm very lazy to make food. That's why I immediately do Uber Eats, and I think that's 100% loss to me. And that week made me feel like um, really think to plan to save for my first goal in the next 3 months. Like I want to buy now. Uh, I want to save 3,000 to buy the new iPhone 17 that is about to launch very soon. And in order to make this happen, I've already started saving 10% of my each fortnight pay and be more mindful about what I spend on each week. Like for now, it's a small change, but for me, it feels like it's a beginning of a more responsible future. And also, this is the first time that I'm thinking about my money with purpose. In week 2, before the second week, I get to get to know how credit actually worked. Like all I had been told was like it's a risky thing. People around me were just like credit card is very risk. And as an international student, I have been like extremely careful when borrowing money, only because I hate the thought of hanging over my head. But after this week, I really have a different attitude towards credit. Now I'm sure working hard and building a good credit will help me to buy a house here in Australia when I get my permanent residency or citizenship. And building this as one of my long-term goals on my goals list, and this week has helped me realize the process I must take to get there. And when we got into good debt and bad debt section, it made me realize how I have spent money in the past, and now I'm on my way to good debt. So I'm planning to save some percentage of my earning from each fortnight pay and pay some part of my tuition fee, rather than just spending on the new clothes every week and online shopping, which I now think is not really a good option. And week 3 was next big thing for me because it introduced budgeting and managing personal expenses. That is something I've always struggled with. I used to think budgeting was just for people who had a lot of money, but now I realize like it's actually for the people who want to be smart with the money that they have, and it doesn't matter how small the amount it is. I sat down and actually looked at my spending and realized like I was spending way too much on snack and entertainment. I've taken the first step and prepared a basic budget for myself using the 50, 30, and 20 budgeting formula. And with proper budgeting, I'm calculating and managing money to get one of my dream car in next 3 years, which is Toyota Land Cruiser. Um, in week 4, there was a topic about investment, and it made me reflect on my position with respect to investment. I do have a few shares back in home, like in Nepal. I only used to invest in IPO because if the shares will not be allotted, then I would definitely get my money back. But until now, I had not considered investing here in Australia at all. As an international student with no permanent residency, I always thought that it was not available for me. So after learning about variety of direct and indirect investments, I realized that it was possible to start small. That's why I opened a ComSec account recently as a way to start exploring Australian shares. And although investing in Australian property is not realistic for me as I am not permanent residence here, or I'm not holding a citizenship. I'm planning to purchase property back home in Nepal as a long-term plan, which I think now as definitely the best future investment that I will ever had. Thank you for watching my video.